Our world is an incredibly diverse place. Over its 197 million square miles exist an estimated 8.7 million species. Humans alone number over 7 billion people, hailing from almost 200 countries, innumerable cultures, and a vast array of climates and habitats. So, when studying the biology of our planet, it would be counterintuitive to have it studied by only one type of person. For science to progress, it is imperative that it be studied by a variety of different people that bring with them a vast amount of diverse experience and knowledge.
The advancement of science, education, and outreach, the advancement of science for our own welfare is enriched much more by having a broad inclusion of everybody in the sciences and beyond.
Having been born in South America, I had the experience of developing and being resourceful about inventing and building our own toys. And many years later, when I was already here at Berkeley, we did an experiment where we pulled a single molecule of DNA and we had a little bead on the side, and since when you pull a DNA, the molecule unwinds, you could actually see the rotation of the bead as the molecule unwound, and that very much resembled a toy which we actually built and played with when I was a kid in Latin America. We call that a run run in Peru. It is interesting to think that some of these early experiences in life may actually remain in the back of a person's mind, and we may end up actually sort of reproducing them at the molecular level, at the single molecule level, which is what we did.
There are a number of reasons why diversity and increasing diversity in the sciences are important. In particular, for me, it strikes me that people research what they're interested in. They research things that have naturally been a part of their lives. And in particular, my research right now, I'm interested in things like environmental justice and environmental racism. So, for example, why is it that minorities are more likely to die from cancer and a number of other diseases relative to Caucasian Americans? So I think just by increasing the diversity of people that are conducting research, that are involved in research, will increase the topics that we research. And that's obviously very important both for society as well as for the advancement of science.
When I was a postdoc and had my first child, I'd given a presentation at a conference and had one of my senior colleagues come up afterwards and say, "Looks like you're doing great, your career looks like it's going well, just make sure you don't have another child." And this was a real aha moment for me when I realized that what we need to be doing to broaden participation in science, and particularly to welcome the perspective that women bring to science, is that we need to be explaining and encouraging to people how professional success and personal happiness can go hand in hand and actually be self-reinforcing. And so I did have that second child, and one of the life lessons that I've learned is that the more joy and balance I have in my personal life, the more effective and successful I can be in my professional life.
One approaches any task, any intellectual endeavor, any academic endeavor from the perspective of the culture, of one's culture. It provides a different perspective, a different sort of a parallax effect that allows a problem to be studied from precisely different cultural perspectives, and therefore I believe that enriches the experience and the actual scientific endeavor.
It seems like one of the most important things to promote diversity and make people feel like this is a life for them is to really continue working on structural change in the system so that the system can encompass lots of different people's needs and desires in their lives. I think one optimistic thing is that the system is changing and that the more different perspectives that we can bring together will continue furthering positive changes in the system.
You know, I guess one of the things that's important is once we start to fix the problem, then it'll perpetuate itself. For some of us, maybe it doesn't make that big of a difference, but actually to see somebody in the classroom or giving a lecture or doing science or on television in a documentary that looks like ourselves is perhaps more likely to attract those people to go into science themselves.
We need to work together to develop more inclusive and flexible policies to encourage a culture of multiple perspectives. By cultivating an environment of inclusion, we gain different people with different strengths and interests, which have been and will continue to be an imperative component necessary for the progression of scientific discovery.